mic not on. Okay, welcome to another edition of the Headline Eye. I am your host, Larry H. Gardner, and the H stands for we got a hot one here at this particular. Forgive me for the late start. I got in here and there was a couple of things going on with traffic, and some of these Lyft drivers is crazy. But still, I am so glad that we are in campaign season, election season, especially for the city council and the judges. And the thing about it is that we got one of the brightest candidates here, one of the most electrifying, stupendous candidates here in the building at this particular point in time. But before I get to the candidate in question, I gotta say some prayers to the Sheffield family. Cordell Sheffield, as you know, was caught in that Rainbow Terrace explosion. He saved his two stepchildren, 10 and 11, and he succumbed to his injuries last week. Shout out to Richard Starr for putting everything out, and shout out to everybody that wished that boy well, pretty much. So on behalf of Nerve DJs and the Headline Eye and myself, rest in peace to Mr. Sheffield, and sending his family wishes and things of that nature. I know it's hard losing a loved one, trust me. I've been through it, and and for the city, I don't care about the Browns, I don't care about the Guardians, Mayor Bibb, Blaine Griffin, Richard Starr. Please do something for that boy. This should be an all-city memorial for him, because heroes don't wear capes. And unfortunately, 80% of his body was burned and he couldn't, manufacture. I'm leaving all the stuff alone. The one thing I say that, but the thing about it is, like, reporting in federal government that all the Republicans voted no on releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files after the Democrats wanted them released, and Trump said there was nothing on the Epstein files, but not forced to release the Epstein files. I know the reason why that the Epstein files weren't released, because somebody's on them. But I'm gonna leave that alone for next week. Period. Probably a couple of them people on them. I'm just saying, my name's not on them. I wasn't near no island. Listen. Sometimes I can't even afford this bottle of water. Speaking of which, traveling mercies for my uncle Easter Brown, who's going to see his sister Evelyn in Hawkinsville, Georgia. She has suffered a stroke. Also, traveling mercies go to my son, Jalen Gardner, who was here. Now he's going back. I miss that little man. Love my son. Love him very much. He got me. And shout out to Micro Center for just robbing me this week. Period. So, all right, enough of the talk. I've been waiting for this all week. The Human T-Rex on the ones and twos. I've been waiting for this epic interview all week. I finally got one of the hottest magistrates and candidates right here, right now. So please, drum roll, pretty much play the entrance music. The superhero has come to the Headline Eye on WNRV 108.1.com. She is one of the hottest candidates for a Cleveland municipal judge at this particular point in time. That's why I'm playing one of my best. It's a leader. I don't know what to tell you. I know what she's going to tell you about her candidacy right about now. Please welcome my guest today, Miss Inson Loving in the building. All right. How? I appreciate you being here.
Before I say anything about myself, I just wanted to extend those same traveling mercies to Uncle Brown and to Jalen. And also just take a moment of silence for the Sheffield family. I personally haven't even been able to articulate or say
Go ahead.
Haven't even articulated a way to extend my condolences, because a loss of this magnitude, like you mentioned, it's a community loss, and its impact is felt throughout the community. So my deepest condolences to the family, and of course, if there's anything that we can do to help. I know that there are a lot of efforts gathering behind the family, but I just hope that they don't lose steam and that we just continue to support. And like you said, thanks to the councilmen and to the firefighters who all acted promptly into the community for gathering and rallying behind all the victims who suffered loss in the Garden Valley fire.
Thank you very much for that. So let's get to the nitty gritty.
All right, now, so just let's skip all that. So my name is Inson J Loving, and the J is for Junior. I'm gonna get that out the way. I am honored to be here. Like I said, thank you for having me. I am a candidate for judge of the Cleveland Municipal Court this fall. I am on the ballot November 4th, and I'm currently running in what will be an open seat. It's currently held by Judge Cassidy, who will be terming out. So it's an open seat and we'll be on the ballot this fall. So it's an honor to come and talk about myself and get to know people a little bit more. You know, we're always in these rooms and we're at events and a lot of people see you, but they don't really have a lot of one-on-one time with you.
Right.
Just because of the nature of networking and community events. You say hello, you speak for a couple of minutes, and you just have to talk to a lot of people. So I always like to make sure people know you have my contact information if you want to talk to me more. If there are questions that people might have about me personally, my background, my experience, they can always reach out to me. But this is just a really great forum for you to ask me questions, for me to share information about myself.
That is why
and
we
people
here.
Are like, oh my, I get Inson for a whole 10, 15, or 20 minutes straight, and I'm never really talking in one spot for that long, so it feels great to be here.
So, okay, so you are taking over Judge Cassidy's seat when you're elected. We don't.
Amen. Speak it into existence.
We speak when in existence. So why are you running?
So that is the number one question. And so in order to answer that question, I'm glad we got time. I got to go back to the beginning, right? So a little bit of background about the Cleveland Municipal Court. I call it a court of first touches. It's a progressive court and one of the largest courts in Ohio. And the court has a lot of programs and resources and dedicated dockets in place to assist individuals with the underlying issues that bring them before the court. So and sort of this holistic understanding that sometimes there are underlying issues that we need to treat and address to keep people out of the court, and to just really help them instead of having them cycle in and out and back and forth throughout the court. And so in that regard, I grew up in the city of East Cleveland. Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yes. So I grew up.
You from EC?
I'm from EC. I grew up 1223 Roselle, and Angel, my campaign manager, lived on 1223 Bender. So I was on Roselle, and Angel was on Bender our whole lives, and we didn't meet until after we connected while campaigning. But yes, I grew up in East Cleveland, from East Cleveland. My grandmother was an apostolic pastor, and she had a church over on Union. So I grew up in an apostolic home. And back in the day, you know, homes were generational, right?
Right.
So you had your parents, your grandparents, you had cousins and uncles. It was just everybody under one big roof. So we had, at that time, what we called a large family. And so my family was just cycling through a lot of personal issues. And so I saw firsthand, and I had these lived experiences of seeing people who had to go to court, who interacted, knowing the impact that those decisions that judges make every day have on our lives. And also seeing what it looked like when courts weren't accessible or when things weren't communicated, but also seeing the positive side of that and seeing people get relief or treatment that they need. And so, you know, when I first went to college, so I'm first generation college student, first generation law school.
What college you go to?
Graduate, John Carroll University.
What's up?
That's
what's up.
Yeah, and I graduated from the University of Akron School of Law. And so, at first, when I went to college, I didn't know that I wanted to be a judge per se. I knew I wanted to study law. I knew I wanted to understand how the legal system worked, and I wanted to help. And so I went and I just sort of went and got that experience, you know, from the books, from the classroom, and all the way up to and through the courtroom. So after I graduated from law school, I started in private practice. I worked for plaintiffs, defense firms. I worked at municipal court levels, the state court levels, the county court levels, and appellate courts. So I've argued cases in our appellate courts throughout Ohio. So I've had this whole spectrum of experience. And I've practiced for over 15 years. It'll be 16 this November. And so I transitioned to public service a few years ago. And when I transitioned to the public service side, I worked for the Common Pleas Court as a staff attorney for one of the judges. And so I got a completely different viewpoint of what it looks like from an administrative side and what it looks like as far as administering justice to people, and how varied that experience is and how varied those results are depending on the courtroom you are in. And our judges make impactful decisions every day. And that's why it's really important for us to choose judges who have the experience, yes, but also the traits like integrity, compassion, and fairness, because we have to understand that our elected officials should be held to task with respect to their decision making, and all things like bias should be removed from that. And so I just saw what it looked like, and I was really good as a staff attorney. I was great. Let my old boss tell you, I think she said I was the most...
Who was your old boss?
Judge Saffold, and she said I was one of the most intellectual persons that she had ever met.
The Saffolds are like the Saffolds are pretty much like the Wayans of comedy, pretty much. They are
the whole family.
Not,
right?
They're like the whole family is,
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, magistrate, judges, things of that nature. So yeah, they're like I'll say the Wayans. I'm more like the Jacksons of common pleas.
Comedy music, comedy music law, right? You got the whole trifecta.
Yeah.
But it sort of along those same lines, you have Judge Saffold, who started at the municipal court level and then finished her career at the common pleas court level. And then she sort of, depending on how you want to phrase it, the Saffold name in law, and then now you have a family of judges. You have that legacy, and so that legacy is also inspirational to the community, and seeing that you have a family of African American leaders who have done these things. And so that's also a piece of why I want to run too, because like I said, I was first generation. My family was a little different growing up. We didn't have a lot of things, right? I received special services as a child. And so I know what it's like to be sort of someone who is in need of certain things and who has those perspectives, but also now I've come into this place where I am a developing leader or a current leader, and I can be a role model to our youth. And so in that same capacity, I like to volunteer with different organizations and help, high school students or, college students, law students, people who are interested in the legal field, sort of share my experiences, mentor, and connect them with any resources that I have, because it's important to know that you can do it, because oftentimes if you don't see people who look like you, who are representatives or role models in the profession you want, it just seems like a barrier to break into it. But if we stay in the community, if I'm everywhere and if people see me, then they're like, Inson did it and maybe I can too, or maybe I can use her as a resource. So my goal is to also just continue to develop myself so that I can sort of live what I preach and continue to be that role model and leader that others can look up to.
Right, exactly. So the thing about it is, Inson, and your J stands for junior. How did that come about for real?
See, this is why Angel needed that microphone, because she loves to tell this story. All right, now, so let me tell you. So I am half black and half Korean. I know that's a question I get a lot of times. Now, who's playing the music?
T-Rex has said like that, hey, we have no problem here.
I'm just joking. So my father was military. Met my mom in Korea, got married, had me, and then I came to the States. So when I say I've been in East Cleveland, I've been here since I was a baby, like tiny baby. As soon as they gave my mom clearance to hop on a plane and come here, we came and we were just, boom, planted in East Cleveland. But my mom, her name is Inson. So as unique as it sounds, I'm not the only one.
Right.
And so my father, now this is a story, right? All I know is what I was told. Now I was told that my father said, name her Inson Jr. And so the nurses put on my birth certificate Inson Jr. Loving, because Loving is our family name. So I have my mom's name, Inson, Then they wrote in the junior. Then I got the Loving. And so that is how I got my name. But I didn't know that growing up. Because you're not allowed to keep your birth certificates or your social security
Right,
card.
exactly.
That's under the mattress somewhere. Your parents got it hidden. So when I had to go apply for high school, something around that time period, I needed a copy of my birth certificate. And I went and I looked at my birth certificate and I said, hold up, what is this junior? I had no idea that my middle name was Junior because up until that time, I always thought it was Jay, like Jaye spelled out.
Right.
And so I think my middle school diploma might have even said Jaye as my middle name. And then in high school, going in, I found out it was Junior.
Yeah, I listen.
And that's the story.
You know what? I'm a junior too. God bless rest my soul, my father rest my soul. People still call me Junior.
Yeah.
And even in public, when I'm trying out doing stuff like filming or taking pictures or talking to people or, getting like somebody screamed out Junior. I was so embarrassed. Face
See, I don't know.
red.
If they scream out Junior in a room full of people, how many heads turn?
A lot.
See, they might not have been looking for you.
But no, I know this person because they knew my dad.
Oh, okay.
They're like specifically looking at me and telling me that. But it's cool though. It's cool. Shout out
I
to
could tell you at 42, I'm still Junior as well. You just don't lose it. It doesn't matter how.
it don't matter if your parents are gone. Don't matter. You still Junior in their eyes. Period. My uncle Easter, he's like, hey Junior. I'm like, you know what?
Uncle Brown.
Yeah, Uncle Easter Brown. Yeah, he's still like. And the thing about it is, the man's 82. So the thing about it is, like, he get away with it. I can't say like if you're an older African American man, you can't say jack because they live through it all. Everything.
You can't say a word. You just say yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and keep it moving.
Exactly.
That's it.
So as of right now, are you a magistrate or just an attorney?
So I'm not a magistrate. I don't work for the Cleveland Municipal Court currently. I work for the state of Ohio.
And what do you do for the state?
I am a senior assistant attorney general with the Attorney General's office. That is my job title.
Wow. So pretty much, you have the tools and the talent, and to win this particular race outright.
So I just want to, I don't want to cut you off, but I want to say one thing. When I think about it, when you say the tools and the talent to win this race, because you said we're speaking it into existence, right? But when I look at it, I think I have the tools, the talent, and I'm uniquely prepared to serve in this role. So to me, it's like the win is that's a condition precedent, right? Like I gotta win in order to get to the bench and do the job.
Right.
But I look at it from I'm talented. I'm uniquely seated to serve in these roles. All these events and this experience has culminated in me just being the best candidate for the role and being a judge who is connected to the community and who people trust to act with fairness and integrity. So I didn't mean to cut you off, and I hope think about think about prepared to serve.
Yes, the thing about it is like that. It's the Inson Loving aura, pretty much surrounding your campaign. So how has the campaign been going? I mean, I know you pretty much took the Larry H. Gardner playbook and been everywhere. Thank you.
Well, if it was a playbook, you should have sent me a copy. Maybe I could have saved a couple steps. If you still got it, you got my email address.
I got your email address.
Let me get one.
All right.
So what's the Larry? What's the playbook?
Pretty much be everywhere and be personable and be open to talking to people. So you pretty much got it down pat. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how building the audience is done. You can ask Miss Washington over there. So it's
she ain't talking
missing. Right, Mrs. Washington. By the way, vote for Angel and her husband, Dr. Washington, to be the best couple in there. Favorite couple. Just letting you know out there, because she right behind me, and I ain't trying to get hit with nothing on air. So, but your uniqueness shows. But the thing about it is like, why did you want to run in the first place?
Because we need judges on the bench who continue to connect to the community and who continue to understand the impact of their decisions. And so when you think about the court, I touched on this, but it serves a lot of people, and our judges can touch thousands of cases a year just by nature of what comes in. And so the Cleveland Municipal Court handles civil matters that are under $15,000 in jurisdiction,
Right.
and misdemeanors. The felony cases are adjudicated at the common pleas court level.
Right.
So in the Cleveland Municipal Court, you have a heavy traffic docket, assault, OVIs, things of that nature.
Drugs.
Drugs, and mental health. And so in that regard, that the court has, like the specialized docket, like the drug docket, the mental health docket, that we have, that if you have a judge in front of you and that judge is able to really take the time and understand that each person in front of them is a different person and that each one of those people has their own lived experiences, and if we take the time to evaluate our cases in that way and then really consider, well, what can we do here? There might be alternatives to maybe sentencing or fines and things that we have to consider that could actually help turn an individual's life around instead of maybe sending them down the bad path or a different path.
To jail, pretty much.
And not just to jail, but sometimes you have to think end game and long term. And so I like to say that one of my best qualities as an attorney is that I think a lot. I do not stop thinking. And you're always strategizing, you're planning, and you're studying. Like, I'm a lifelong learner. And that applies in everything that I do. So there's no such thing as a small case or a case that you need to handle quickly and get off your docket. Like, you look at that case and you look at everything in it and you consider that person before you and you think, how can I help and not harm? And still act within the bounds of the judicial code of ethics and, perform my job duties. And so I am that type of person. And also what's really important for me, and I didn't realize how much this meant to people, right? So when I worked at the Common Pleas Court, we were in person. I was there every day, Monday through Friday, in the office, in the courtroom. And so, when you're traveling through the Justice Center, you see everybody. You see attorneys, you see individuals who might have cases before the court, whether they're plaintiffs, defendants, you see victims, you see prosecutors, you see everybody. You're interacting with so many people every day. And some people don't understand the impact of their interactions with people, right? So I do, because it's not very pleasant to be on the receiving end of discourteous treatment.
Right.
And so one thing that's been really important to me since I was a little girl, and the number one value I instill in my daughter is, you got to be a kind person. You got to be a good person. I don't care what your GPA is. I don't care if you don't get into Stanford or Yale, because my number one goal is to raise you to be a kind and courteous person who cares about other people. All the rest of it will fall into place. And so I am very smart. I'm qualified, competent. I'm all those things. But at the forefront of it, I am a kind and courteous person, and I believe that every single person I interact with deserves dignity and respect. So if you see me in the courtroom, that person is gonna get dignity and respect. If you see me at the Dave's supermarket, because this is my neighborhood,
right,
that person is gonna get dignity and respect. The person at McDonald's, like, every single person deserves that same treatment. Doesn't matter if one person has more money or comes from a different background. That's not how we treat people. And I think that being able to have the honor to serve people and to know that no matter the outcome of what happens in my potential future courtroom, to know that I know that Judge Inson J Loving did what she thought was best based on the facts before her and the law. And I know that her decision was made with integrity. And that's what is really important to me. And making sure that no one leaves the courtroom having felt that I mistreated them or said something to them or talked to them in a way that just didn't align with my personal morals or values.
You know what? You brought up something. Serve. Judges are there, even though judges are there for the law to maybe discipline or to help, they're also there to serve in the best interest of not only the people, but also the person being accused of the crime per se. Correct?
So judges serve. And when I say serve, another component of that is that when you think about judges, y'all, the community, the public, the voters, are our boss collectively. You vote in your elected officials. And if you vote in an elected official and you don't like their performance or their results, then guess what happens next election? You cast your vote, and your vote in that ballot box dictates sort of, your performance review, right? And so that's what I say when I mean serve, because we are public servants. I'm a public servant. I work for the state. When I work for the county, I'm a public servant because of the nature of our job. And that doesn't change. And it just has this added component of actually being elected by the public and having the voters decide who gets to serve them as their judge.
Right, exactly. So, golly, we got to go to break right now. But the thing about it is, when we come back, we're going to talk about what people don't know. If you weren't an attorney, what would you be? And I'm just thinking that she would probably be like Miss World or something.
I would be some sort of chef or baker.
Really? We got to talk about that when we come back off break. We got to go to break. You and T-Rex, set us off on the break right now. Yes, we got to put a little. And now I heard this at one of your campaign fundraisers. A little bit of Stevie, Superstition.
Oh yeah, we like our music.
Exactly. We'll be right back with Miss Inson J Loving. We'll be right back on the headline Eye on Nerve. DJs WNRV 108.1.com.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Looking for the perfect workspace? Office Lawson Solon has you covered. Whether you need a private office, co-working membership, or a virtual business address, we've got flexible options to fit your needs. Check out our 2 spring promos. Enjoy free co-working Fridays and no deposit on private office rentals. We also offer month-to-month leasing for your ultimate flexibility. Visit office-loss.com or call 216-230-9258 to lock in your space now. Office Loss, where productivity meets flexibility.
See you soon.
Oh my God, Nerve DJs, keep banging them hits.
Hey, what's happening? It's your country cousin Big Crit, and you now rocking with the Nerve DJs. You mad shouted?
Yo, what up, y'all? This the legendary Smooth B.
Hey y'all, this is the baddest bitch Trina. You don't know Nanny.
Yo, this is Cardi B.
What up, y'all? This is Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, and right now you're locked into Nerve DJs, man. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? This is Jack Harlow, and you're now rocking with the Nerve DJs. You mad or what?
If you didn't know, now you know. It's those Nerve DJs.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? It's the King Puff Daddy.
What it do? It's your boy Rick Ross.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Jada Kiss.
Hey, what's up? This is Chuck D, and we're about to take you on a journey. Shout out to the Nerve DJs worldwide. You don't stop.
What's cracking, y'all? This is me, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. Nerve DJs. We break your tracks, not your stacks.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Looking to grow or expand your business?
Yo, bro, you read my mind.
Well, we have the perfect solution for you. Your business needs are important, and so is your advertising. Here at WNRV Power 1081, we have marketing solutions for all your business needs and affordable pricing to keep you in the green. Give us a call today at 216-702-0688. That's 216-702-0688. Or email us at WNRVPower1081@gmail.com today.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll. I'll be hot stepping, y'all, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm strumming my own freedom, playing the God in me, representing His glory. Hope He's proud of me. Hope He's proud of me. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden, golden.
All right, we're back on the headline eye on WNRV Nerve DJs. WNRV108.1.com, Nerve DJs, meaning on the nerves. That was Jill Scott Golden, and I am with the Golden candidates, Miss Inson J Loving building. So, what if you were not in law, what would you be doing?
Okay, so we got two options, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, if I followed my career path, I think that I probably would have continued along a mental health track, right? Like in psychology, social work, in that field. If I wanted to expand into entrepreneurship, I wholeheartedly believe I would be cooking or be a baker, something definitely up that alley. So like, there was this period of time I took, and I was like, I'm gonna take a couple of months off work to figure out, where I want to land next, right? Because when you think about a job, you think about all the different things you want from your job, but you also want to make sure that it's the right decision, right? Like, I want to be somewhere that aligns with what I want to do, and just serves. And so when I took that little bit of time off, I started like just planning out this entire baking business. I said, oh, well, we'll do pound cakes and this, that, and the other. And then people were like, no, we want plates. We want your macaroni. So it would definitely be something like that.
So you make some mean macaroni and cheese?
See, now that I said that out loud, somebody go ask me.
You know I'm going to ask you.
January 2nd, 2026. I got y'all.
All right. After everything over.
After everything's over, I will be back in the kitchen. But so like I said, I grew up, my grandmother cooked. Like, it didn't matter what you had in your fridge, what you had in your pocketbook. Like, we had home cooked meals. And so she was a stay-at-home grandma and mom, and it was just a whole meal. So I watched and I learned. And so you learn how to clean your vegetables, you learn how to make your greens, you make everything from scratch, and you make your biscuits, your bread, you make your cakes, and you got your swine's flour. Like, you just do all of that. And so the science behind baking and measuring is really soothing to me. I enjoy it. And cooking I enjoy because you don't need the science, right? You just season to your heart's content, till your ancestors tell you to stop whichever one. And it's warm, like
pretty much season until you sneezing, right?
Some days depending on what you're cooking. But there's this idea, I'm sorry, I keep moving, that
that's cool.
Food is family, and food is home, and food is warmth. And so to me, I enjoy feeding people. So like right now on the campaign trail, y'all know I'm out here. I don't have time to make meals every day. But what I can do, I can make sure people are eating, right? I can make sure people are fed. Like, knowing that I am feeding someone or making sure that someone is nourished brings me joy. I mean, I like to eat too, but really it's about that. So that's always just been a thing for me. Like, I was raised that way, my mom's that way, and so that's why I really do believe that if I had to choose a different career and I was an entrepreneur, I would wholeheartedly have some sort of restaurant, catering, or baking business.
And it seems like you care, so you probably sell out everything at that particular time. Like you said food. Now the thing about it is, like, I already liked you already, but when you said food, it was more like,
I mean, like, and not everybody enjoys it, right? Like, I'm Thanksgiving dinner. Like, before, like last year,
really?
Last year I didn't do Thanksgiving because we were already out here, and that's a 3-4 day adventure.
Right. Yeah.
But for me, I'm the one who
you can't touch nothing in the refrigerator. My grandmother was like, you can't touch nothing.
And then all the pans on the table, don't move them, don't mix nothing. You put the bag in the wrong spot, it's over.
Right.
But yeah, so I enjoy that. So I would be the one who would make the big meals and tell so and so to come over and get food and get a plate. And so I think that would be a natural and easy transition for me. And I also think that it would still fulfill my needs from a profession.
Right. By the way, you have lovely Christmas cards that you have. I got you with one of yours. So
I still believe in mail and stamps, right? Even though the price, I think Angel said they just went up 3 cents.
4 cents.
4 cents a couple days ago. So, y'all
$5.
know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna still send my Christmas cards, but I think that I like getting stuff in the mail. I like opening the mail. I know I can get it in an email. I know I can get it in a text message, but there's something about still having that. And so growing up, My grandmother used to take all the cards, right? She kept them.
Right.
Had them in a box, and so she decorate the banister. And so you'd have the banister with your what is it? The ribbon?
The ribbons and stuff, like the stockings and stuff like that.
And she would tape all these cards up the banister, and they'd be hanging up, and you would just look at a card from 3 years ago. And so I just have always kept my cards. And I don't hang them up, but I like to keep them. And in that same form, I'm like, I know there are people who appreciate physical cards. Like, I can call you and say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Birthday, and send my condolences. But there's something about a piece of mail that I still like. So, yes, I'm glad you enjoyed your Christmas card.
I did. Thank you very much. And
I am the queen of cards.
So the thing about it is like, not only was you on the Christmas card, but your daughter's on the Christmas card. You want to shout out your daughter for real?
Well, yes. I will take a moment to shout her out. My daughter is 16 years old, so you know that's like a double-edged sword.
Right.
She's 16, she's almost an adult and coming into age, but also, you know, still a child.
Right.
And I don't want to get emotional, but my daughter is amazing. Like, she talks back. She is your typical teenager. But she is so smart, and she is kind, and she is considerate, and every time someone talks to me about her, interactions with them, it means enough for them to bring it to my attention, to come find me and say, Allison did this or Allison did Y, and it means everything to me. You know, when you think about your kids and you're like, I want your kids to do X, Y, and Z, and all I can ever say is that Allison is a better version of me. And I have given her the space to grow and develop into the person that she wants to be. And she's taken that autonomy and she has done amazing things. She has like a 4.3 something GPA. She is a leader. She is currently doing an internship with Cleveland Clinic Youth Center. She applies for these things. She's doing Look Up to Cleveland or Look Up Cleveland. This school year, she was accepted into that program, and she just looks for all these opportunities, and she has these big goals, and she stands up for people. And as someone, like, you know, when I was younger, you know, kids used to be cruel back in the day. I grew up in East Cleveland. Like, I was kind of funny looking in East Cleveland, and I was the big kid, so I got teased. And so my daughter is a voice for others. She stands up for them, and, you know, she saved me in so many ways. And, you know, everyone's always like, where's Inson? Like, if it's, you know, now it's where's Angel? Like, that's my twin.
Right.
But Allison is, maybe it's women with names that begin with the name. But Allison is just this amazing embodiment of all the things that make her a great human. And she has so much in store for her future, and I'm just really honored to be her mother. And I am.
My
and
God. You about to make me cry.
All the grief in the world. Y'all have heard her talk. And she is gracious. You know, she still has those moments where she's like, Ma, you're on the campaign. The campaign's coming first. But she's given me the space to do this. She's understanding that this campaign isn't just an investment of my time and my resources, but hers as well. Because she has to be a little more independent, right? Mom is not home every day for all these things or always available or accessible because she has to work, and then she has to go here and there. And she is understanding, and she's given me sort of her unspoken permission to do this because even though she calls me corny and she might be embarrassed at times, I think she's proud and she sees the vision and she understands the difference and sort of this historical component and perspective for change that I would offer if elected. And so that is my shout out to her.
Shout out to Allison.
Yeah, she'll never hear it because it's not a TikTok and it's over 60 seconds.
Right. No, the thing about it is like
we can make it.
We can make it.
Look, he said he gonna make it.
He gonna make it. He gonna make it and send it to you. So the thing about it is like you've done this. Go ahead.
I'm straight.
Like, no, I ain't gonna be in the next 5 seconds because the fact of the matter is, like, you know, when I was at Micro Center with Jalen yesterday, and he knows how to build. Listen, this boy at 13, he's 13, knows how to build a PC gaming system from scratch. knowing like the TCU. I'm still trying to figure out what these components trying to do. Like, you know what? I just told Jalen, listen, your dad doesn't know a lot about this, and you have the upper edge on me. So please let me know what these parts are standing for. And the thing about it is, Jalen said something very important to me. Now, I was upset yesterday because he sent me something via Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was supposed to have a component. It was a TCU, and I was going to pay for it. Like, the guy didn't come. I waited for Micro Center. We waited for him at Micro Center all this time. You know, and the thing about it is, like, he didn't come without the component. So I was like, you know what? I gave him $5 to send him on his way. And I was upset about it. Like, you know, this is my son. I'm trying to get it for him. So the thing about it is, like, you know what, Dad? If he wastes his time and gas and he doesn't have the part, don't worry about it. We'll just get another one. I know you're going to get another one. And I just hugged him in the Wendy's. I'm so proud of him. Because of the simple fact of the matter is, like, you know, your children speak loudest of your sensitivity and vulnerability, you know, and for him doing better than I have, especially in that way. By the way, this man, like this young man gets like honorable all the way through. He got honored, and it was his like, and he's in a whole different state. He's not in Cleveland. So, listen, I'm gonna give a black fist up for both the children, Allison, Jalen, and everybody else that's raising their children. Cause you're a single mom, correct?
I am. But like you said, and I'm gonna go back to that. How he gave you that little bit of grace, just naturally, right? You're apologizing because we're the parents and something didn't work out for our kids like we planned, and you're trying to apologize and explain, and they're like, "Are you okay?" Or "It's okay," because you don't like. I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm not adding to your burden, and these kids are just considerate in a way that is like beyond the years I would have imagined when I was 16 or 13.
Right, exactly. And the thing is that, you know, where everybody always talks about, you know, young people don't understand. Yes, they do. You just gotta talk to them in the language that they understand. Now, and the reflection of you being a caring person. So when you're elected to the bench, will you be carrying the same compassion? A lot of people are scared of judges because judges and prosecutors and stuff,
away for life.
Right? You know, or put you down like I gotta go to work and you about to put me in jail for 30 days and I can't, you know, I might lose my job or lose, you know, my place or both or be on the street or whatever. So when you are elected, what is the first thing that you're going to do? Because you handle a lot of cases, except for felonies. You handle a lot of cases. What is the first thing you would do when you're in that seat?
When I'm actually on the bench.
Yes, when you're actually on the bench, yes.
First, because you asked me about 3 questions in there. I can't change who I am.
Right.
So I've been out here. I've been on this quote campaign trail for a long time now. Y'all probably see me every week, multiple times a week, and I'm probably consistently the same. And I say that to say, you know, is there this idea that I'll get on the bench and change who I am? Well, no, because how you see me today, how you saw me last week, how you gonna see me next week is who I am, and I can't change that, right? But the difference is that I'm operating in a space where I am entrusted to serve, and my job is to take the law as it is written, and apply it to the facts in front of me. And so me as a person, I don't change. I can do my job and I can be compassionate, and that compassion piece of it is reflected in the treatment of others, of everybody in your courtroom. What can we do here? And if I do make a decision, taking the time to say, if I do X, what are the ramifications of my decision? What is that trickle-down effect, like you said? Is there something that I can do that doesn't result in more harm to an individual who's in this courtroom today because of a predicament? So it really just involves being, you know, understanding and knowledgeable about everything that comes before the court. And so with respect to the first thing that I would do, I think that in order to talk the talk and walk the walk, the courtroom has to be a reflection of me and my values, the things that I'm campaigning on, that voters are selecting when they cast their vote. So I think that in that regard, I would be very diligent in making sure that my right hand, that my staff, that their values align with me. So making sure my team is my team and that we are connected to work together. And so for me, I would make sure that, like when you think team, like any staff who are working for you at the court, you're thinking like bailiff, et cetera, that I have my people in place with me who believe in the same things that I do, who believe in implementation of justice and treatment of people in the same way that I do, and who I've seen interact with others, and whose qualities mirror mine. Because what good is it for me to say, here are all the things I embody, if every time you come to my courtroom, half of your time is spent with someone whose values maybe don't align, or who maybe treats people differently than what my philosophy looks like. So that would be very important to me, is making sure that my staff in place are committed to the same values that I am, and that we're knowledgeable about court systems and operations. Because people like to say, there's a hiccup or a learning curve, but for people who've practiced as long as I have, who've done all the things that I have, we'll get in there day one and be ready to go. But that's because I'm doing the legwork. I'm preparing, I'm researching, I'm staying on top of my credits and understanding and looking at how the court works. And so I'm doing the legwork so that when I get in on day one, I'm ready to start, and we have people in place, and that we don't, delay any cases in any way, because we all know that delays can be impactful.
Exactly. That is, what do you think about bail reform or bail period for?
So I think that's the prime example of thinking about what to do in certain situations because of the potential impact of your decision, right? So you can have, for example, I'll just give a hypothetical. You might have a mother who comes into your courtroom, and you might have, in this particular case, an option. You can send her home, or you can keep her. And I think that that's a situation where you really have to take your time to understand the ramifications of your decision, because when you look at the individual, the things that bring them in the courtroom and all these other factors, what's the impact of your decision? If you keep this woman, then what happens? Does she not make it to daycare? She doesn't pick up her kids. So what happens if she doesn't pick up her kids? Are her kids now placed in the system? Does she not show up to work the next morning? Does she lose her job as a result? Because a lot of times people are working jobs where no call, no show, you may be out of employment.
Exactly.
So now after just one decision, there have been all these decisions that have impacted this person. And as a result of no job, we know what happens when people don't have a job, when they don't have money. So what other losses does she suffer? Like, does she now have to face eviction or loss of housing or loss of resources, all based on one decision where, under the right set of circumstances, there could have been alternatives to consider. And so I think that it's really important in that regard to not only have judges who are aware of and understand bail reform, but also understand the importance of looking at each case differently, right? Like, there's no one size fits all, like,
right,
when it comes to justice, because every single person in front of you, every set of facts is going to be different. So we have to make sure we're doing our due diligence, where I plan to do my due diligence and understand that each case is different, and there's no boom, 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 all in one type of approach to sentencing or to adjudicating any matters before the court.
Exactly. So you're treating every single case as far as an individual person, not just, in the letter of the law, there's a blanket letter of the law, but the thing about it is you're going to bring you and your compassion to the bench.
Yeah, and so when I say that, again, judges, you have to take the law,
letter of the law,
facts, and you have to, like, I'm operating in a box of, for lack of better phrasing, restriction, right? So I have to do that within the confines of whatever I'm faced with. But I also know that that's not it, and that things change and circumstances are different for different parties. And so it just means taking the time with each case, making sure that you're fully informed, and also understanding what the court does and the resources that it offers. That's important too. You have to know how the court operates, and I think that was the second best part about working for the Common Pleas Court is understanding administrative operations.
Exactly. Why should people vote for you over your opponent? This is the headline question. Why should we vote for you? Because there's somebody else in the race. I ain't gonna bring nobody else's name up because they not here. But the thing about it is, why should we vote for Inson Loving?
Well, I believe that voters, not I believe, there's no I believe. People should vote for me because I am the most qualified candidate in my race, but also because I'm connected to community. I think that it's really important for us to have judges who have experience, who are knowledgeable, who have had real courtroom experience, but also our judges are people, right? This is a citywide election. All the candidates purportedly live within the city confines,
right,
or the confines of the city of Cleveland. And so you are a judge, you work, you're on the bench, but you are still a leader. People look up to our judges. Our judges are role models and our judges are examples, and our judges should embody that. And that means that we are visible in the community, that we're accessible to community members and constituents, and that we're using our platform, right? Like judges can't advocate and like take stances on certain things.
Right, exactly.
But I can certainly go to career day at John Hay. I can volunteer and give food at this community event. I can show up and organize, a school drive for resources. I can go speak at a gun violence event and share with people my experiences. I can talk, I can share, I can lead, and I can mentor and volunteer. And so that's the piece that people miss. Because think about it from this perspective, right? You got to argue to some degree all judges are qualified and experienced because there are requirements to run for judge.
Exactly.
You went to law school, you passed the bar. Some of us, on the first time or not, you got your JD, you got your law degree, you're licensed to practice, you practice all these years. So then if that's the case, why are outcomes different? Why are things disparate? Or why do we see some disparate impact or differing outcomes? And so what's the missing piece? And I think that people care about judges who understand the community, who are from the community, and who are their neighbors. And I think that's why people should vote for me, because in addition to being qualified and in addition to honestly saying that I act with integrity and that I act with compassion, and whether or not y'all are looking at me on this YouTube, FaceTime, or this
Facebook,
not Facebook. See, I just showed my age. I don't
Facebook
know
Live, YouTube, IG, TikTok.
See, the TikTok. I don't know none of that. But if you're looking at me here, or if you see me outside, I'm the same person on or off the bench. And I think that's what's important, because I embody what I talk about, and I'm a real reflection of that. And I think that that's shown through my community impact. And people talk about all the things that you could do in addition to everything you might already do. And it's like, tell me where to go, tell me where to be. What do you need? How I make? And to the extent that I can, I try to do it.
Yeah. So pretty much this is Inson all the way inside and out, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just if you see me at the Dave's, I'm gonna be in my Crocs. My ponytail don't look like this. It's sitting up here. And my I like to call it my Costco weekend outfit. It's like my comfortable leggings. But I always talk to people. People come up to me, they recognize me, and I have those conversations because I'm your neighbor.
Right. So, that's what's up. Black fist up to that, black fist up to that, and black fist up to whatever else you just said. Period, point blank. Before I know that we got to wrap it up. Shout out to your daughter, and shout out to Miss Angel Washington, who ran. Unfortunately, she's not. She should be in that office right now, but we gonna put that into position. But the thing about it is, next, before I bring Angel up with what she has for you from this program, I'm going to bring up something that you did for me.
What'd I do?
Okay. So, First of all, I'd like to shout out to Judge Ryan and his wife, Robin. Ryan.
The Ryans.
Yes, the Ryans. So, this is the first time she's been on this program, Inson has. But I've seen her a lot of times, parades, Cam's Corner, out and about, her stuff, her campaign donations. By the way, before we get to that, how can people volunteer or donate to your campaign? Because it need money too.
Yep, Angel's got a piece she can share with everyone, but support matters. All support matters. We want to meet as many people as we can. We want to connect. We meet and greet, get to talk to folks. Like I said, a lot of people have questions that might be unique to them that maybe we don't answer in a certain format. So meet and greets are a nice way if people want to invite us, connect us with their community, block parties. We be everywhere, right? So people are like, oh, well, you weren't at such and such. Tell us. There's no such thing as like over information. Like, let us know. And if we can support and be there, we absolutely will.
Right. So shout out to your campaign manager, Angel Washington. Shout out to everybody that's on your campaign that I saw. You have a lot of support. And, and to be honest, I see why. Because the simple fact of the matter is you put a lot of love into your campaign. Of course, that is your last name. Loving. So it's like, I mean, it's, Ashley, that's it. That says it all. I'm just saying. It just 2 + 2 is 4. But anything before I bring this certain fact up, before we go, anything that you have to say before we leave?
So before you bring up the fact that you didn't finish, and before you bring up Angel, one thing you touched on, my support. I cannot put into words how overwhelmed I am about the support I receive, about the kind words that people say to me. And I tell people all the time, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And there are only so many ways that I can say thank you. But every time, the little girl in East Cleveland who didn't think that this was something she could accomplish, right? I am honored by the support. I am humbled by it. And it is what keeps me going. It's long days, right? Being on the campaign trail. I'm out and about. I'm here, there, running around, and I have these moments as a single mom where I'm like, man, I'm not here for my daughter in this way, or I'm not showing up for my mother in this way, or I'm not showing up for my friends in this way. But I'm surrounded by people who are willing to help me when people say, let me do this for you, and people who say, girl, you killing it. And all of that just shows me that they believe in me and that I can do this and that we are gonna do it. And so I just thank everybody who's ever uttered a kind word, who's supported our campaign, who's walked with us, who's gone to an event on my behalf, or who's told their neighbor's hairdresser, I know someone who's running for judge, I met her and I think she's great. All of that matters, and I would just ask for people to continue to spread that word and help us get the support we need to win that election in November.
Exactly. So for anybody that's asking, well, what about the September 9th? Judges go all the way to November. Judicial candidates go all the way to November 4th. So even though, go all the way to the general, not that they go past the primary. And Inson Loving is going to be on your ballot in November.
You are correct. We do not have a primary. We are not on the ballot until the November 4th general election. And so, folks, if you are voting absentee, all of that is still part of and connected to that November 4th election. And same with that early voting window. It opens, that clock starts from November 4th and goes back. So you're looking at October.
Right. So one last thing. Before we bring Angel up, what's up with the colors? How did you choose your campaign colors?
So, first off, what I forgot to say before I started talking is we see you. Did they see your whole outfit?
Yeah, they see it.
Did you do a spin around?
Yeah, I
did. We got team blue and orange in the house for real, from all sides of the table. So thank you for the colors.
No problem.
So Before this campaign, if anyone knew me, I wore black. I was black everything. Black suits, black dresses,
Right.
black pumps. Like, I just like black. I think it's great. It goes with everything. But black blends in at the same time. But that's because, part of me being how I was growing up, I always wanted to blend in, right? I didn't want to stand out. I didn't want to draw attention to myself. And now is the time to stand out. So I just, by happenstance.
Can I point out you're a biracial child? You gonna stand out?
I know, well, and if I put on black, maybe I take a little bit away from standing out in the crowd.
But
hey, so I like to blend in, and that was the reason for wearing all black. But it just was happenstance. I was wearing the color one day, and then it was like, everyone's like, "Oh, you look nice in that. Oh, that's your color. That's your color. That's your color." And then the blue and orange just merged into like this perfect fusion of, boom, this is Inson J Loving. When y'all see her out, when y'all see Angel in that orange T-shirt, like you see the Orange Army, and it just sort of came together just naturally, right? Like I didn't plan. This is what we're going to do. It just happened. So everything's been so natural throughout this process. Like, it just feels very natural. Like things just fell in place and aligned for me naturally, that I just know that this is God's plan, and these are my grandmother prayers that are guiding my path right now. And so I am blessed, and I'm just gonna follow the lead, and that's what happened with the campaign colors.
Amen to that. Speaking of blessed, now I'm gonna bring up what you did for me. So the thing about it is like, everybody knows that my mother, Miss Nita Franz, who was involved in drug court, passed away in March. A lot of stress and healing and grieving came to that.
Still, grief is a cycle. It ebbs and flows, but it does not end.
Exactly. So I'm gonna tell you what this woman, Miss Loving, did on the cross side of me. I'm at the homegoing ceremony at Calhoun Funeral Home. And instead of her being on the campaign trail, her and her campaign manager, Angel, I sent out a text saying, the colors of this and that or whatever, this is going to be here. I look up, I'm sitting next to my son, Jalen, who's grieving the loss of his last grandparent, his Nana, who he loved very much, and I see your face.
I mean, I tapped your shoulder, so.
Yeah, you did tap my shoulder, but the thing about it is like, you could have been anywhere else around in the afternoon. It wasn't in the morning now. It was in the afternoon.
It was at prime time of the day. Yeah.
Prime time of the day.
What you're saying.
You could have been at prime time, another event. Some of my high school friends had other obligations and couldn't make it, but you did. And the thing about it is, I also wanted to tell you, when I brought you on here, thank you for your support. I thank you for being there. I thank you not only as a candidate, but the thing about it is like, as a friend, thank you very much for being there. So shout out to Angel Washington. Angel has something for you that I want to give to you. I want you to bring it up.
Y'all know I don't like surprises.
This is a surprise. So
I like to know what's happening.
So this is a little bit heavy, but so I want to bring it to you, not to be boisterous on air. So if you want to remove that. There's a book.
Well, for y'all to have this show, you sure needed a box of tissues on this table somewhere between the two of us. This is beautiful.
There's a book. Now, there's also another gift inside of there. Mm-hmm. I want you to pull that out.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell. July 15th.
Mm-hmm.
July 15th.
Uh-huh.
The blessing of burdens. The Lord has comforted his people and will have compassion on his suffering ones. Isaiah 49:13.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the evening, time for a U-turn. There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. Proverbs 16:25.
Exactly. So
beautiful.
So that is yours.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also, my mother, Anita Franz, won the Virtuous Woman Award.
She did.
And
I see some red in here too for her.
So the thing about it is like...
Is this her glass?
That is her glass, and that is her book. The thing about it is like my mother always told me, if I see a virtuous woman that deserves it, to give it to her. And the thing about it is, from what I've seen from your campaign, because you've been on the campaign trail stomping, romping, and bumping for the past year and a half. Mm-hmm. You've been everywhere. So the thing about it is like, those are the things that my mother had. So I want you to have those, because of the simple fact of the matter is that since you as a single mom believed in yourself, I want to make sure that you believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the thing about it is, that is my thank you to you for showing up where you didn't have to.
You say I didn't have to, but like Angel and I, just when we're thinking about our day and we're planning out stuff, because like you said, we got a lot. There are days when there are 10 things going and we're trying to figure out how we do it. You know, people might rate things about where do I need to be, and to me it's like, well, I need to be where I'm most needed, you know? And so that's how I decide where I should be, and I needed to be there and I needed to show up.
Yeah.
But thank you. This is, I'm speechless. Which don't happen often. I like to talk. Everybody tell you I talk too much.
No, you ain't. But this is a talk show. You ain't talking enough.
You're right.
Here's the thing. We just ain't got time. My engineer want to go home.
Listen. If he ain't cut that microphone off, he's all right.
So the thing about it is, like, the reason, like I said before, when you get those accolades, when you show up and show out, you are rewarded. And the thing about it is like, that book, mother read that book. And then the thing about it is like, I have so many, and it's like, well, I have so many keepsakes of her. I mean, I have her whole furniture in my apartment right now. So it's like, the one thing my mother always said is to be a grateful person and to share. So the thing about it is like, if you see somebody that's genuine, you share with that person. So I'm sharing that with you.
And I will not forget it.
Right.
And you see how you just shared that memory and what your mother said. So much of our ancestors lives on through us, through our words and through our actions.
So you want to like contact. So what's the contact info for Inson Loving? You got a website. We know you got a Facebook.
We do. I have a Facebook, and the Instagram, the handle is Inson, INSON, Loving, LOVINGCLE. That's the Instagram handle. That's also our email address, insonlovingcle@gmail.com. Contact information is also up on the website. It's in progress. We're hoping to have it up next week so that we can share a lot more information about my background with folks and put up ways that people can volunteer to help.
Shout out to you. And I was going to end this show. First of all, I got a shout out to Donovan Cavaliers guard Donovan Mitchell and his girlfriend Coco Jones are now engaged. Shout out to them. Shout out to D Mitch. Shout out to Coco. Of course, Coco Jones, she plays the Hillary Banks on the new version of Bel Air on Peacock. Michael Madsen, who passed away. Sorry to hear that. A couple of people passed away. But I'm going to get back to that next week. But right now, I thank you. Anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
I'm sure I've taken enough of your time. If anybody has questions, y'all know how to find me. And if not, I'm probably tagged in something on Facebook and you can find me there. However the internet works.
Exactly. So, by the way, I forgot to say, I am now again in the book for Who's Who in Black Cleveland as an honoree. I am here again, and thank you, in the book. I'm sure I will see you at Who's Who in Black Cleveland. Shout out to Rhonda Crowder. Shout out to everybody else. Shout out to Angel Washington. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Miss Loving for coming down here and talking to us.
And to our engineer.
Shout out to Human T-Rex. She's shouting you out.
That was some good stuff.
It is some good stuff. And this is is this your first interview? Or is you got it? Or
yeah, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah, it is actually.
Wow.
I've not sat down in front of. You know what? I take that back. Angel did an interview for me. We're members of the National Congress of Black Women, and Angel did an interview of me, a shorter interview, where she asked me a couple of questions. So I think that might have been the first one.
But this is probably
like, you know,
the big stage.
I'm in a studio with chairs, and microphone. I got headphones.
All right, so like this is gonna prepare you for the next level. Last person that was prepared for that particular next level is the mayor now. So let's just be honest. So we speaking that into existence. So speaking of this is, and the thing about it is, I also want to play the last song. The reason I'm playing this song is because if you there was a report that Beyonce's choreographer got robbed of unreleased Beyonce songs and
out the car.
Yeah, itinerary and stuff like that. So we're gonna play some Beyonce and Jay-Z. And a lot of people who are crazy in love with Inson right now, that's why we're going to play this song at the end of the night. So this is Crazy in Love, Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. If nobody tells you they love you today, I do. Thank you, Miss Loving. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you all for tuning in.
And WNRV108.1.com, the headline. I am Larry H. Gardner. We will see you next week. Peace.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Deep in your eyes, I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. How I'm feeling and my pride is the one to blame. Cause I know I don't understand just how your love can do it, no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love. When I talk to my friends so quietly, who we think he is? Look at what you did to me. Fitted shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. If you ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. It's the way that you know what I thought I knew. It's the beat in my heart gets when I'm with you. But I still don't understand just how you look and do what no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love. Looking so crazy, your love's got me looking so crazy, your love.
Young Hov, y'all know when the flow is loco. Young B and the ROC. OG, big homie, the one and only. Stick bony, but the pockets are fat like Tony. Soprano, the rock handle like Ben X2. I shake bonies, man, you can't get next to. The genuine, I do though. I sling though, if anything, I bling, yo. Star like Ringo, war like a Greensboro wreck. Crazy, bring your whole set. Jay-Z in the range, crazy in the range. They can't figure him out, they like, hey, is he insane? Yes, sir, I'm cut from a different cloth. My texture is the best firm chinchilla. I've been iller than chain smokers. How you think I got the name over? I've been realer, the game's over. Fall back young, ever since I made the change over to platinum, the game's been a rap one.
Got me looking